Assalamualaikum, myself Karan Dhava, and I welcome you on the platform of telemedical education. So here with me is Amna Anwar. Hello Amna, welcome.
Hi everyone. Hi, it's me, Amna Anwar. I'm head of TeleMeds Education Research Program.
जी अच्छा गाइस, आज हम बेसिकली डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं अपनी रिसर्च जर्नी। बेसिक आमना और आपको समझाएंगी कि रिसर्च के बेसिक स्टेप्स क्या होते हैं और किस तरह हमने कंडक्ट करवानी है और नेक्स्ट किस तरह आपको असिस्ट कर सकते हैं हम लोग फॉर रिसर्च। तो ऑब्वियसली आमना रिसर्च हेड हैं, तो यही आपको सारा बताएंगी कि चीजें किस तरह करनी है। सो गुड लक एंड बेस्ट विशेस टू यू आमना, ओवर टू यू।
Thank you so much, Wakar. Thank you so much. Okay, so today we're starting off with series 1 of the lectures, which I already have covered in the Zoom lectures. And these are just a recording for you guys to recap on and to have a sort of revision, if you will. So I'll start the screen recording. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we're starting with lectures 1. So we first will present ourselves with some sort of an idea if you haven't done so already. Having some sort of questions is a very good way to start. What are the benefits of carrying out a research? That's a great question to start off with. Basically, it will be a great opportunity for you to explore a topic that is particularly interesting to you. How will it benefit me in the future? Basically, research process allows you to gain an expertise on a topic of your choice, and writing process helps you remember what you have learned and understand it on a deep level. Is it necessary? Obviously, having a research paper published is not necessary, but for you, especially in your medical or dental undergraduate degree, it's very necessary for you to at least try. And how long does it take to finish a research paper? Now, some research, it depends upon your research topic. Some research topics take around a few months to even a few years, actually. Now, your goals should be to consolidate your understanding of research paper, know the parts of a research paper, and get used to keywords, which we'll be using throughout the program. All right, so how to actually select a research topic. A lot of the undergraduate students, they don't know actually how to create a topic or choose a topic which they it would be best to avoid plagiarism. So firstly, actually, what you need to do is, it should not be broad at all. Having to choose a topic which is very broad would be, under plagiarism, come under plagiarism, and would actually be of no use to you. It should spark your interest. It should keep a word and limit in mind. There should be a researchable topic. It should aim to solve and genuine content of the program. All right. And the effect. So for example, let me give you an example. What effect does daily use of Twitter have on the attention span of under 16s? Now, this title is far better than what effect does social media have on people's minds, because of, number one, of the target population, of obviously what kind of effects they have. The second question defines its concepts more clearly. It can be researched upon through qualitative and quantitative data collection. Another example I have down here is, does the US or UK have a better healthcare system? Now, obviously, this is really broad. This will come up, this isn't narrowed down at all. So what you should do is actually, how do the US and the UK compare in health outcomes and patient satisfaction among low-income people with chronic illness? And this is more targeted, more specific, and more narrowed down to a specific topic rather than a broad topic, okay? Now, what's a thesis? A thesis is basically a statement and is usually at the end of an introductory paragraph. The sentences that precede the sentence will introduce it, and the sentences that follow will then explain and support it. Another option is to think of a thesis statement as one complete sentence that expresses your position, okay? It narrows down the topic to a specific focus of an investigation. It establishes a direction for the entire paper, and it points forward to the conclusion. Those three are your main focus of a thesis, okay? Now, your second actually topic would be to do your research, finding a good enough secondary and primary credible sources, and read them all to make sure that your study is relevant and has enough evidence to support your thesis. You should be taking notes. These notes will be definitely used later on. Start documenting. Everything that you will document will always be needed. This is something crucial to cite all your sources that you use for quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing to avoid plagiarism. And you have to look for proper scientific citations. So the APA, MLA, Chicago, Vancouver styles, there are a lot of various styles that you can choose from. And you basically have to use the latest edition of a specific guide. Now, citation. What does a citation actually mean? And what's the difference between citation and a reference? Now, a reference that's basically a list of all the websites that you'll be using in your research paper that you'll be citing. And a citation is basically a specific source that you will use to mention in the body of your paper. So you can cite books, websites, charts, and PDF files. And the citations actually have the various styles that you will be choosing from. So now, how do you choose a particular citation? So there are many different ways of citing resources from your research. The citation styles sometimes depend on the academic journal involved. So for example, APA, that's used in mostly psychological and sciences research papers. MLA is used in humanitarian subjects. In Chicago is used in basically history and fine arts. The Vancouver style is formerly known as basically to work in scholarly and medical journals. So template. When writing a template, you should basically keep in mind a typical backbone. This would be covering your title page, abstract, introduction, methodology section, your finding, your results, your discussion, and then your conclusion. And obviously this can be varied. This is just a sort of template for you. You can add your introduction, your paragraphs, and your conclusions as well. And that will basically elongate your research paper further. Okay. Now, a pro tip would be to go back and forth. Obviously, as you're working in a group, you will all be going back and forth. When deciding on the right template, you have to make sure to refer back to your instructor or your mentor. Having the right decisions made at the right time will reduce your chances of mistakes, and having them repeatedly fix problems, which can take up a lot of time. Okay, now a lot of the checking would come under grammar, incomplete sentences, dangling modifiers, quotation rules and comma use, eliminating contractions, and all of that. Okay. Publishers do want quality, and it's not always about the quantity or the amount of papers that you've already written on, or the amount of work you've published or that you will provide. So originality is wanted, readability is wanted, studies that meet the ethical standards are wanted, and significant advances in the field. Okay, so duplications, reports with no scientific interest, work out of date, and studies with insufficient data are definitely something you want to avoid. Now, the common errors that students often make is having direct quotes, except in cases when student doesn't understand the concept, and then quoting all over the place, which doesn't give, obviously, ultimately a good outcome. Okay, irrelevant information. Sometimes you may feel the need to justify a statement. Actually, such information is anecdotal and it's considered something you don't actually need. Verbal tense, use of wrong verbs at the tenses at best is irritating to read and reflects poorly on the student's writing skills. So now your resources, you have everywhere to go, your mentors, your supervisors, WhatsApp groups, use those a lot, and especially the links. So I provided you with these links in the group chat. If you do want the resources, you can just, remind me in the group chat now, and I'll send you them again in PDF format, okay? Thank you very much for listening to the first series. I'll see you on the second series.
Thank you so much, Amna. Thank you so much for this. अच्छा guys, ये फर्स्ट लेक्चर था बेसिक ना, तो नेक्स्ट जो लेक्चर है वो हम सेकंड में रिकॉर्ड करते हैं, फिर आपके साथ वो प्रेजेंट करेंगे. Thank you so much.
Thank you.